In my previous video, I talked about why the structural correction isn't the solution to improving chronic pain conditions. Then also share my insight on the role of the nervous system retraining and the movement retraining on improving those conditions. So please be sure to watch that video first if you haven't watched it yet. And in today's video, I'm going to show you another functional movement retraining, nervous system retraining, and specifically around a function of bending, which we do many times throughout the day, right? Whether you do it sitting, standing, and in various positions, we bend, and the bending is one of the very functional and fundamental functional movements. So I'm going to demonstrate the movements and to show you the movement retraining while sitting in a chair. You can do standing, you can do on your knees on the floor as well. But it's really the bending patterns that is what we'll be focusing on today. So while you're sitting on a chair, and sit on the front of the chair, so you have a room to move, and then have your feet on the ground, not the legs crossed, like that. And then you're going to take your hands and put your hands on your thighs, and you're going to reach your hands and slide your hands down towards your ankles. It's not a stretching, but I'd like you to observe when you start to slide your hands down, right, when that's bending, and observe what happened to your back, your spine, your low back. In many ways that people do it, but in your own habitual way. And how do you do the bending, right? Sliding your hands down towards your ankles. It really doesn't matter how far you go. It's not a stretching, like I said. It's not a range of motion exercise, but you are learning to retrain the movement patterns, so specifically these bending patterns. When you do that, and some people do it while flexing, rounding their spine, the back, right? So let's start with this one first, which is quite common, right? So you can round your spine and then slide your hands down. And then coming back. Do it within a comfortable range for you. It may be very small, or you may be able to go a little bit further comfortably. That's great. Going down a few times. So maybe this is your habitual way. Again, this is the nervous system retraining and the movement retraining, meaning that you're learning to experience and learning to sense a different way of using your body, moving. So now another way to do that is you're going to, instead of rounding your spine, first can you learn to move your spine in opposite directions? When I say the spine is connected to the pelvis, which means that you have to learn to move your pelvis in the opposite directions. You're going to learn the pelvis to tilt your pelvis forward or rotate your pelvis forward directions, like so, which is going to extend through your spine, like that. And maybe this movement is very foreign to you, unfamiliar to you, which means that it's not habitual pattern, which means that this is a really great opportunity to learn. Not a stretching. Again, this is a functional the functional movement retraining. So as you are going to slide your hands down, bending, right? This is the bending patterns. You're going to learn to actually move the pelvis in a direction that is going to arch your spine instead of rounding your spine. So that's the opposite. But you're going to take the spine or take the pelvis forward directions as you are reaching your hands down. For some people, this is their habitual movement pattern, so they find that is easy. For those of you who are not habitually doing this way, and you will find this movement patterns quite awkward, quite difficult, even uncomfortable. Right? So the sensation of being uncomfortable, it can be easily confused with that's a wrong movement, or that's a movement that shouldn't be used. That's not necessarily correct. It just means that you're not really used to moving into that direction. So that is a great opportunity for you. So starting to move your pelvis forward directions, and as you are reaching your hands down. Like that, and then coming back. It may be very small movement, that's fine. Just maybe beginning to bend forward in here. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to the first one so that you can see the difference between the two. First one, the pelvis or the spine is going to round, which means the pelvis is going to tilt backwards as they slide the hands down. Right? And then the second pattern is moving the pelvis forward directions to lengthen, extend the spine as they bend down and coming back. So practice both ways until both patterns become more easily accessible, right? You are just giving yourself the opportunity to learn the different ways of movement. And that's the retraining the nervous system, right? Just as a variation, it's not necessary, but as a variation, if you like to, you can do more diagonal bending patterns. You can slide, put both hands on one leg and then slide both hands downward, because we don't always bend down straight directions. We sometimes bend diagonally one direction or the other direction depending on what you are reaching for, right? So it's helpful to practice in the bending patterns in various directions. So you can go this way with spine rounding, with the spine extending. So practice that and you can start to integrate in the new way of moving. If you find yourself habitually doing these bending patterns, then you can start to integrate and use the new movement patterns and vice versa. So for people who are habitually doing this one, that's the only way of moving. Then you can, once in a while, you can learn to do the other way, rounding your spine, because that's a possibility too. So it is helpful for you to be able to use both patterns and be able to, to sense the different ways of movement in your body. So let me know how your body feels right now after having practiced and a different variety of the bending patterns. And let me know if you have any questions in a comment down below. And anything else? Let me see. If you are new to this channel and if you like this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you haven't, make sure to hit the bell notification button and make sure so that you get notified every time a new video is posted. Anything else? Any comments, feedback? Please let me know and share that in the comment section below. I would appreciate that. So thank you very much for watching. There will be another video next week about another nervous system retraining, functional movement retraining. So stay tuned. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I want to let you know that you can join my free masterclass, Path to Comfort, Confidence, and Authenticity in Your Body. And this is an overview of my comprehensive movement course called Understanding How Your Body Moves Method. If you want to submit your application to this course, and you can do so in the master class. So I hope to see you inside the master class.